Good morning, folks. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Kenyatta here. Those new, welcome to my channel, and those returning, big up yourself. So I'm here on the terrace garden and or balcony garden or front veranda. And last night when I came out to water, I said to myself, I have to come out and really do a live on here to show you, the progress, because I was so happy and so proud of how it's coming along. I know I did a video about some crisis, but that's the initial stage, and it just again show never give up. I don't know if you can see my t-shirt. Never give up upon your dreams. All right, so I want to show you what the current garden looks like, so I'll just flip the camera. All right, so there's some tomatoes growing pretty well. So the cherry tomatoes are here, growing pretty tall. You can see. Look at me, look, and I'm 5'6". So these are the tomatoes growing pretty well. So coming along, these are the initial one, and from this one I cut a piece, like for example, you see a little offshoot coming up here. What I did was I cut a piece off like this. I put it in water, and once it starts to root, I planted a new one. That's how I got this one. This one is from a cutting like this, small like this, and it grew up this big and thick, and even looking much bigger than the other ones. So we'll see how that come along. And the lesson I learned, I implemented it, which means that each of these spots, you can see they have 1, 2, maximum 3 things in it. So I have a little chard growing with this tomato, and the other ones I cut out the ground cherries because they were pretty much at the end of life. I also want to show you I mulch with some cane trash, because cane trash help keep the moisture in, because these hot dry days, last night we had rain, you can see they're quite wet and also pretty dead in Chapelton, except for the 1 or 2 people, and I'm on over the sun make up nice. Okay, so back to here in the terrace. So I have the end of this bean, which is where I planted the first one. The first set I planted, that's at the end. I pulled down the rest of them, and I started this new one, which is growing up pretty tall, and the flowers just start. So in terms of the soil, the dirt, as I said in my previous video update, that I started to use some of these compost in my mother's yard, and it's been pretty good because these chard were planted in it, and there was a lot of them. I had to and I had to thin them out. So I transplanted them into other pots, and they're looking pretty good compared to the first set I planted. I also transplanted this pepper in the new with the new compost. We'll see how that goes. And then in the process of thinning out, I realized that these okro left back in the pot, because I was just waiting to plant something else, started to do much better because they have more space, right? You can see they're ready to be harvested. Because they have more space, they start to do better, start growing more flowers, start to picking up a little bit. And while we're on the topic of okro, I'm going to show you the other one. We did the same thing, but even better. Look on the one here. You see? We take out the other things that were in it and only left one okro, and you can see it's coming on very strong. They have little baby okra on it later. Yeah, so this is what the terrace is looking at these days, and I must tell you, sir, Mr. get some attention in our town, yeah, because people pass and look and say, what? She had grew a vegetable pani veranda, pani terrace, and they're surprised because they never really think that, you know, such a thing is possible. And one man was saying that, wow, you bring a foreign concept right here in Jamaica, because when you're foreign and you live in a little apartment and you want to grow a little something, you grow up on your balcony. So as you can see here, my first summer squash, yellow crockneck squash, is coming on. Look how big it is now. I had to do a manual. I did a manual. What do you call it? To pollinate. Yes, I did a manual pollination. A manual pollination, which means I took the male flower. I don't have it right now, but it's like a male flower that looks something like this. Open it and pollinate the female flower. We have the flower at the back of the back right here, so you can tell this new baby coming up. You know it's female when you have the you know it's female when you have the yellow yellow, and then the flowers at the root. And then it's male when you have just the flower, and when you have just the flower and nothing else. Anyways, so let's talk about the bigger tomatoes now. So you can see we have big tomatoes, the salad tomatoes coming. I have another one over here, so these tomatoes are actually quite special. They are yellow. When they wrap up fully, around here is yellow, and the bottom is red. Yeah, so I mean, I cut them inside yellow. So those are special tomato. From foreign, and in these pots you can see I have some chard. These are the original ones I planted, not the second batch. And I also have some tomato and a little pepper underneath there. I didn't realize that this pepper was here. I would have transplanted it too, but you see right now it starts to have a little bit. It starts to have one little pepper, so I may have to just leave it there for now. All right. And then I want to show you this. I don't know if a coco or dasheen, but all I know is because I'm going to plant, me put some food scraps underneath trying to build up the soil, and it so happened this dasheen came from a peel. One of the peel I put on the bottom, this dasheen came up from it. I didn't plant it. So actually I say dasheen, but really I don't know if a dasheen or coco. So this dasheen volunteer itself, and I keep it because when I do, every so often I cut one piece of leaf and I cook it. Add it to my greens. You may have seen some of my shorts with that. Check out my shorts because I'm normally mainly doing shorts these days for updates because the longer video is harder. I don't have the time. And then also yeah, so the longer video take more time and energy. And then also for the past week when I have a phone, this is my old phone, and it's very limited, so this is why I came on and did a live, because I wouldn't be able to have access to editing a video right now. Next thing I want to show you before we go is the pepper. Before when we plant it, I don't know, what kind of pepper. I'm gonna see to come in and know what kind of pepper. And then guess what? You guys see that? Guess what? These are Scotch bonnet pepper, and you can see how much pepper on the tree. I hope you can see how much pepper on the tree. But lots of peppers coming, and more pepper come on the tree. You can see this tree is pretty small, and it's growing in this little pot. I need to cover the rosemary, but the little one, same way. And then I also have some chard over here. And this itself is a turmeric plant. Morning, George, morning. Morning, morning. Morning. Me tell Gaff. Me Gaff, me not gonna talk to you right now. Me I mean, I know we have gadget Gaff a top up, but anyways, me leave him for now. And I want to show you this coco. This chocho is something that was given to me by this market lady. I'm really not fan of chocho, but guess what? We just plant it anyways, and see it here. I have not been giving any attention, but it's just been doing this little thing, wrapping around in this little corner. And I have quite a bit of skellion, yes, so skellion. And I put one root of feva grass in here, so in this little tiny little bucket, and look on it. So the skellion and feva grass. You see that? And then the water spinach, muong, is still going pretty good. I had to give it some of my liquid fertilizer. And cerrasie here, growing up on the stick, right in the corner. When we need a little cerrasie, we just open the door and go a little piece right there. So overall, I must say that the veranda garden, balcony garden, terrace garden, the container garden is doing pretty well. So I'm going to just give you a nice overview of it before I talk about some other stuff. So in this corner, these are the small little buckets. These are the old jugs, actually cut in half, and this one, the top, just cut off. So these ones are smaller, cut in half, and they're growing different herbs and greens in this corner, with even a cerrasie that volunteered itself in one of the container. I left it. And then on this side we have the salad tomato. This is a red yellow tomato. I have the dasheen or coco, some chard, okro, which okro come. Actually, some of them I'm gonna pick just in a little bit. Maybe you want to see me pick me little okra them. One sunflower, which replanted. And there's a second one that's coming soon. And some beans going up. And you can also see next to the beans, cherry tomatoes get very tall. I never know if they're so tall. I put them on the side there because they got so tall, and at least the grill can support them. So that's it, folks. That's it in terms of the planting stuff. So I started with pretty bad dirt, and now the dirt are a little bit better. So you can see it in the plant itself, in the chard, in the beans, in this round of squash. You can see I'm actually going to get one squash, maybe another couple days, we'll be ready. And there's another one coming. Alright, so we are trying to cut a couple okra so we can put them in food for later. One hand may have for this, so we can cut it down a little bit. Okay, so I'll take this baby one here. Okay, so this morning, small little harvest. Got 4 okras and then some tomatoes. Yeah, so this here is the fish the fish hydrolysate, and this here is enzyme, and they've been using both of them to water the garden. So I put a few drops in the water and water the garden with fertilizer, and I also use these to spray the leaves. That's why the leaves, I was showing that the okra looks so nice. And then yesterday I realized some worm compost needed draining. Worm compost needed draining, so I started to drain it. So this is it's called a compost tea. Compost tea, and pretty much you use this to water. Just pour it in the garden like that. Pour it. And the things that we may not need enough fertilizer, like this squash, I'll give it to it. And I'll give it also to the beans. And a little bit to the pepper. Alright. So that's the compost tea. Oh shoot, this one seems like they have enough water in it. Alright, I'll look at that later. Okay. And then the spray. This is so this spray here is the soap and water I used to spray the leaves. I think you saw the video where I sprayed the leaves with it, with the back of the leaves for the aphids. Alright, as you can tell, I can go on and on about the garden. I love it. This is my actual resource. I can spend the whole day in the garden easily. So these days, I don't go a bush, but I have bush right outside my door. In I miggle at home. Okay, in I miggle at home. And the people them pass by and admire my garden. And you know, I not tell them what to do, but I'm just a look on the garden and see what is possible. Carrot. So the town is starting to really wake up. Carrot go all over the place. But me want to come out here this morning and show you a little bit of my garden. And with that, I'm going to leave you. Yeah. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I shared already. I'm doing another channel, but maybe just for this channel I can do live from time to time and also continue with the shorts. Yeah. All right. Love. Have a blessed Sunday. However you spend it, enjoy it. However you spend it, enjoy it. All right. Until next time, Kenyatta leaving you. Bye.